After 7 years as a fugitive, one-time Black Panther leader Eldridge Cleaver arrived at Kennedy Airport in New York early this evening and was immediately arrested by FBI agents.
So the ex-revolutionist, fugitive from justice, who fled abroad 7 years ago, has now fled several foreign countries, including communist ones, and back to the United States. He discovered that he was not an African, but a black American.
Who is Eldridge Cleaver? Some say he was a revolutionary, a symbol for justice in an unjust world, and a leader. But what if it was all a deception tactic? Or is it possible that some people can change? Welcome to the Life Scope channel. On your way in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's appreciated as always. What is it about some people that makes others want to follow them? Is it the words that they aren't afraid to speak? Or maybe it's the appearance of perseverance that attracts many to their cause. On the surface, it seems alluring, appealing, and even rebellious. The 1968 publication of Soul on Ice had a profound effect on an intellectual community that had been galvanized by the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement, urban riots, and college uprisings. Cleaver's memoir from Folsom State Prison, where he was serving a sentence for sexual assault, was praised as an authentic voice of black wrath in a world powered by white people during this turbulent and chaotic period in American history. One of the top 10 books of the year according to the New York Times, Eldridge Cleaver spent much of his youth in reform school and prisons in California. He began writing while incarcerated. Freed on parole, he joined the Black Panthers and published his prison essays in Soul on Ice. In 1968, he fled the country to avoid a return to prison. Cleaver was 62 when he died in Pomona, California, on May 1st, 1998.
I have these Black Panthers up here with guns on the second floor.
Even though some of their methodology was a little skewed, the ideas were sound that they had.
28th Street in West Oakland, a significant neighborhood in the history of the Black Panthers and Eldridge Cleaver. It was Hilliard Cleaver and 17-year-old Bobby Hutton who were in a fiery exchange of gunfire with Oakland police, right here on this site. And when it was over, Hutton was dead, Cleaver was under arrest. But before he could go to trial, he left the country.
But instead of being praised for his writings, it seems like Cleaver should have been condemned. His memoirs were an expression of his tortured mind which he played out. The abuse that he witnessed from his father towards his mother could have been the starting point on how he saw women. In his book Soul on Ice, Eldridge Cleaver states that rape was an insurrectionary act. He admits to sexually assaulting black women for practice, and when he was smooth enough, Cleaver would sexually assault white women to get revenge on white men in a racialized system. However, it's clear that Cleaver had a deviant rationale on how to take over or shake up an unjust system. He played right into the stereotypical hands of black men that talk a good game but secretly hate their own women and are perceived as being unable to control themselves when it comes to white women. So, was he the Minister of Information, or just another Minister of Destruction? Not only did he have an issue with women, but it is also rumored that he was bisexual, which includes being gay for the stay in prison. And according to the Huey P. Newton reader, he embraced James Baldwin with an intimate kiss. However, let Eldridge Cleaver tell it in his writings. He criticized James Baldwin by saying Baldwin's sexuality was a manifestation of a racial death wish.
We had become aware of some sort of a rift that had come to pass between Huey and Eldridge. We booked Huey and arranged the call from Eldridge in Algeria to take advantage of that.
We've got lots of things coming up here on AM this morning, lots of things that you'll like to see, and we're looking forward to them too, right here on AM.
I'll not try to sugarcoat this. We thought this is a wonderful opportunity to build audience So we decided to go ahead and put the two of them together.
Eldridge, we're about out of time. Do you have anything you want to say to any of your followers here in the Bay Area?
Well, I just want to comment on the expulsion of the New York 21 because it looks to us as though, as a result of the actions taken by David Meade over a long period of time, the party has fallen apart at the seams.
Okay, fine. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Good people.
Huey's goal in having Eldridge on the show was to show people that he and Eldridge were on the same page, and Eldridge sabotaged that, so Huey was livid. He was embarrassed, he was furious, and so within 10 minutes or so, he called back.
Mr. Cleaver?
Yes?
Just hold on. Eldridge.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, you got the bombshell this morning. Well, very embarrassing for me. So I'm warning you now, or notifying you, that the intercommunal section, you hear?
Yeah?
The intercommunal section is expelled.
That's not the best way to deal with that.
Well, this is the way I'm going to deal with it.
Well, then I think you're a madman too, brother.
But I'm not a coward like you, brother, because you run off and get little Bobby Hutton killed. But I stay here and face the gas, you see? So you're a coward and you're a punk. You understand?
I think you've lost your ability to reason, brother.
Hey, brother, you heard what I called you. That's what I feel about you now. You're a punk.
It was a split in the party, and within days we began to feel just how bad it was.
Someone has to be disciplined, and my recommendation is to discipline Eldridge Cleaver, not for the criticism itself, but the way in which it was presented.
The word got back to us that Eldridge had put out the edict that the streets were not supposed to be safe for Panthers. Whether he said that or not, he was in Algeria, we were here, who knows? It was chaos.
Black Panther Party leaders Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver had personal and ideological differences that ultimately caused the party to split. One major point of contention was how the two approached revolutionary activism and where the party should go from there. Newton supported a more community-focused strategy, emphasizing social programs like free breakfast programs and community patrols that addressed issues facing Black American communities. Cleaver, on the other hand, leaned toward a more militant and confrontational stance, advocating for armed struggle against what he saw as systemic oppression. Their disagreements were also made worse by internal power struggles and personal conflicts. Newton's attempts to present the Black Panther Party as a disciplined and well-organized political force occasionally contrasted with Cleaver's radical language and his past as a former prisoner. The Black Panther Party eventually split as a result of these issues, with Newton leading one part and Cleaver leading another. The party was damaged by this division, which ultimately led to its downfall in the early 1970s. Despite the Black Panthers being a movement for the people, men like Eldridge Cleaver had the ear of thousands under the guise of liberation. He believed in being armed and in self-defense. However, some people may not be able to get past his past. If it genuinely wasn't a factor, how does a man go from speaking on behalf of the people to selling penis pants? Eldridge Cleaver, an exiled revolutionary Black American leader and former Black Panther Party Minister of Information, was photographed wearing pants he had made and talked about them in newspaper articles in 1975 while in Paris. The crotch of Cleaver's pants was altered, which was the main innovation. He used his Soul on Ice royalties to launch Eldridge Cleaver Ltd., a company whose goal was to make pants that were more suited to the masculine form. Cleaver states that our clothes have castrated us, and his pants open up new vistas. Eldridge objected to penis binding, and he truly thought the original purpose of pants was to contain the penis. Cleaver told Jet magazine in 1978. It seems like throughout his life, Eldridge Cleaver continued to go in the direction that moved him the most without any hesitation. Sometimes history is forgetful, sometimes history is kind to those that have done horrible things without any mention of it. However, is it history that paints Eldridge Cleaver in a more favorable light, or people that choose to overlook the red flags to honor his legacy? Be careful who you look up to, and let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and support the channel.